we should be live. Let me know if you guys can hear me, and we'll get started here. We're going to be here for live severe weather coverage. As we do have our pretty big severe weather outbreak in store for us today. We've been seeing a lot of severe weather throughout the central part of the country today. We are still seeing a lot of those, big time hail producing supercells, and also some very strong damaging winds, and even a couple tornadoes throughout today. But we're seeing a pretty widespread area across the country that has been seeing severe weather, so we're going to be talking about all parts of the country for the most part here. But if we take a look at what we got right now, you can actually see we do have a tornado warning, and this is all the way back into Colorado. We do actually have a tornado warning here. This is to the west of Lyman, Colorado, for Simla and Matheson, Colorado here. So again, this is going to be radar indicated rotation, but still $half size hail currently falling with this storm. So you can see some strong rotation there near Simla, and then Rama and Alta Vista. Again, it's a pretty tornado, historic town there, if that makes sense. I know this is a lot of contamination, but somewhere in here there is actually some strong rotation. So if you look at that cell, you can see again very strong and pretty impressive looking hail core there. If we take a look at our other cells here across portions of western Kansas, you can see we do have a cell up here. This is all north and around Garden City, but we do have a cell north of Garden City here near Dighton that is producing likely hail up to golf ball size, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. So again, if you're in this area, make sure you're getting into an interior room, or not an interior room, but just away from windows, and make sure that you are getting indoors there. But we also do have a cell here warned for quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and then we have another one for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Does also have the tornado possible tag. It looks like for the most part these cells are starting to die out as they kind of congeal here. Pretty messy little cluster of storms, again, north of Garden City and Dodge City, Kansas, for the most part. So again, nothing too crazy to worry about with those, but we'll continue to watch them. And you can see we have a ton of severe thunderstorm warnings out here in the Texas and Oklahoma Panhandle. You can see one out here south of Liberal, Kansas. This is for Tyrone, Forgan, Hooker, Optima, and Hardesty, Oklahoma, here for the next 48 minutes. We're talking golf ball size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. So again, if you're in this area, you really want to make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows, because it's going to be big enough to put some serious dents and shatter some windshields there in your car, and possibly even cause some house damage there. But you can see we also have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings here in the northern Texas Panhandle. This is for Dalhart, Cactus, Channing, and Dumas, Texas. Golf ball size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. It looks like they have actually extended that warning, and they have actually issued this now for Lime size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Again, that is in effect for the next hour and 32 minutes. That, I'm going to tell you guys, that is probably, I think that's the longest severe thunderstorm warning I think I've ever seen. I'm trying to go back in my mind and find a time where there was a severe warning longer than that. I genuinely don't know, but we do have a severe warning south there. This is north of Amarillo, Texas. Again, these storms are moving very oddly. They're it looks like they're trying to congeal here, but this one is moving pretty much to the northeast here. This is moving north-northeast. This is just north of Amarillo. This is from Matterson, Texas. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. $half size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. We do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings south there as well. One here for ping pong ball size hail, and another there for an hour and 31 minutes. Holy crap, these are so long. And then there's another one for ping pong ball size hail again. That was the same one. Holy crap. We have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for Dimmitt and Nazareth. This is for softball size hail. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is insane. Okay, so we have softball size hail falling in Dimmitt, Texas. That is insane. Wow, okay, I didn't see that. But we have ping pong ball size hail also near Tallulah. That is insane, guys. I did not see that. We have another severe thunderstorm warning here for Muleshoe, Texas. I mean, they're everywhere. We have so many. And then we have another one down here near Matador and Roaring Springs. Another historic tornado town there. This is for $half size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. And finally, another one down here for Hobbs and Eunice, New Mexico. Also for Higginbotham, Denver City, and Seagraves, Texas there. So if you're in any of these areas, make sure you're getting a shelter, or, into an interior room. And then finally, we have another severe thunderstorm warning here. This is for, Marathon, Texas, here for the threats of ping pong ball size hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. Wow. Looks like Levi either got a SLC, scary looking cloud, or a possible funnel cloud there. Again, we're talking areas all across the country. I mean, that's out in Tennessee, so. Alright, looks like they have extended the warning here. This is near Dimmitt, Arkansas, or Dimmitt, Texas here. This is now for, lime-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, so they have taken off the softball-sized hail tag. Again, that is something that you rarely see. I mean, look how impressive that hail spike was near Dimmitt. So I'm wondering if that's observed. Again, it's in effect for the next 29 minutes, so I'm wondering if they're going to cancel the warning here. But again, softball size hail from the public. And that is observed. We do have above my head Storm Chaser Freddie McKinney. I'm not sure where he's at. I'll check in a minute. Let's pull up the hail reports, because I'm sure this is going to be very impressive here. No, it's been skill discussions. Dude, I always forget how to pull these up. There we go. Alright, let's go spotter hail. And we're going to do the next 30 minutes. Alright, so we do have hail report here in downtown Dimmitt, Texas here for 2.25 inch size hail. So just above lime size hail that we got falling there. We did get another one here. This is for 3.5 inch size hail, so that is pretty close to softball size hail. That's, you know, you're getting a large apple size there in kind of that neighborhood. So yeah, those are all the reports from that storm. But I'm sure we have more. Yeah, we have more reports down here from our storm near Hobbs. Again, this has been moving north, so these are the previous reports from that storm. You can see down here near Jowl, we did have a report of 1.7 inch size hail, which would be about golf ball size. That looks to be it for the most part. We actually did get another hail report here for, I believe this is $half size hail or so, for our storm here, tornado warned, in Colorado. So again, we should actually pull this up, but, again, that was insane. Softball size hail in Texas. I think that's the biggest we've seen so far this year. So. Alright, I'm going to pull up screen chat here if anybody has any questions about their location. So feel free to let me know. What's up, Mr. Twister? Oh, you got your first severe risk of 2025? Yes, sir. I know this tornado warning is southeast of you, I believe. What's up, Lucy? How's it going? Yeah, that is insane. What's up, Caleb? Wouldn't be surprised to see another warning, for honestly. Are you talking about today or just, you know, any storm? Good to see everybody. Good to see Lucy, Caleb, and Mr. Twister. Again, Freddie McKinney, I don't know where he's at. I'm going to tune into him on my phone here just to see. We can pull him up on a wide screen here if we want. But first, I do want to just take a look at where he's at. Okay, so he is in Dummitt, Texas. Is he actually... Wow, okay, so I thought I saw that. I remember I tuned into him just to see if he was live, so that, you know, while I was setting up my live stream, and I saw he was getting insane hail. I mean, it had to be bigger, at least baseball size hail. So, if I'm correct, he's on this storm. Yeah, he is. Okay. So, he's actually on the storm that is still pretty much, for the most part, warned for softball-size hail. So, again, that's the view of the storm that we have. This is the most impressive hail that we have right now. So, that's insane. Again, I wish we could show that. I don't know if he's still getting pounded or anything. But, yeah, look. Okay, so he's collecting the hail, and he's putting it in a cooler. That's when you know it's actually insane. Wow. Yeah. Oh, very funny, Lucy. Yeah, it was cold. Yeah, I got nominated by someone. Maybe could be possibly in the chat. You might get nominated to do it at school. Unfortunately, you're on the list somehow. Yeah, quite possibly. So those are all of our severe warnings up into the central part of the United States. We do have actually a couple severe warnings up here into Iowa. This is for Fort Dodge and Sac City. Both, or one warned for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This other one is warned for actually half-dollar-size hail. And there actually are some hail reports in Fort Dodge, which I'm wondering if they're actually from this little tiny cell that just popped up here. Again, that dew point's only at 57 degrees. It's really these lapse rates that are just, you know, increasing the hail threat. But this is from the public. So, some sort of hail falling with this. Alright, I believe our tornado warning in Colorado did just get updated. Let's see if it's observed. Okay, still radar indicated. However, they have actually increased the hail tag on this tornado warning here to lime size. So, again, this is south of Matheson, Colorado. I'm sure this is likely an insanely... I mean, I'm assuming the structure on this is nice. I was actually watching a chaser earlier. He was doing a live stream. He said he was gambling on a possible Colorado surprise, and he definitely got it. So, again, I wish I could tune into him right now and give him congratulations, because, again, this is in an area, I don't even know, is this in our general funder? It has to be. I don't know, but it's way out of our, you know, main risk. Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning here. This is going to be for Cactus and Stratford, Texas. This is for ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. We did just get 2 more severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll get to those in a second here. Let's figure those out. Okay, first one down here in southern Nebraska. This is going to be for Arifo, Edison, Oxford, and Atlanta, Nebraska here for quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And then we did just get another one out here into central Iowa. I believe it's this one back here near Sac City. Wait, nope, we just covered that. Okay, so they did just reissue the warning here for Webster City and Fort Dodge. Oh, look at that, Vincent. That's actually crazy. I don't know why. I should not be taking this that seriously, but whatever. And Woolstock there. Half-dollar size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds occurring with that storm. Alright, Davis just said that there is a possible circulation trying to get going here on our destructive storm. Again, Freddie McKinney's on it right now, so we could pull him up. I believe, I'm just looking at him now through the stream, and it looks like he's got some pretty nice structure going there. Bro, it was 70 degrees out when I did it. It low-key was not that hot. Gonna go eat dinner, see you, chat, take care everyone, thanks for the coverage. Yeah, no problem, man. Good to see you, Caleb. Thank you for tuning in. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you're hitting the like button. Let's try to get the stream to 15 likes. I know our best stream has, like, I want to say, like, 55 likes or something. I don't know. I think, if I'm not wrong, that's when we got raided by John McKinney. But we can make it happen. Alright, let's pull up Freddie McKinney here. Freddie McKinney. Because he's on our destructive storm, which apparently has a circulation trying to form. We do have many chasers on this. I mean, right now it's looking like the most impressive storm that we've got at the moment.
Just FYI.
I'll back up.
Alright. See, it looks like he's actually just behind the hail core. we've been live here for, let's see, about 15 minutes, so we're gonna go back like 20 or so minutes, because I want to show you guys how insane that hail was. I don't know if you guys saw it on his feed. There it is. I think this is it. Yeah, look at that. Look at all the hail on the ground there. Yeah, that's insane. And that's not even as big as it was. That's crazy. Alright, new tornado warning. We'll see if they... I'm assuming, yeah. So they reissued the warning here. In Colorado. We did actually get a, I believe that's a 2-inch hail report here for, in Matheson. But that new tornado warning, I don't believe we actually have any town names out here. Again, this seems to be very rural, Colorado. But this is south of Lyman, Colorado, or just to the, east of Matheson, Colorado here. So, they're keeping the lime-size hail tag, because we did get that lime-size hail report here, from the public. Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning here. Let's check that out. Alright, so they reissued the warning. This is going to be going out for Sanderson, Texas. This is going to be the next hour and 4 minutes. Quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds expected. So make sure that if you're in this area, that you're getting indoors and away from windows. Doing the special weather statement south of Abilene, Texas. This is for winters. Yeah, we probably... Dude, I don't know if this cam's gonna be able to see it. Let's see. Look at all the dust. Wow. I don't know if there's like a thing with that camera or whatever. I mean, this is Central Texas, so. Again, I mean, look at this whole, like, just bunch of severe warnings. I mean, we have a ton. Again, we still do have, okay, so they actually just now did downgrade the softball size hail tag severe warning here now to a lime size hail tag. Again, if anybody has any questions about their location, feel free to let me know in chat. Alright. I'm just gonna put a message in the chat so I don't have to repeat myself whenever I say, like, you know, subscribe to the channel, like the video, or live stream. Wow, okay, so the overall radar imagery of our storm here near Nazareth and Mulkey, Texas is actually starting to ramp up a lot here. So, you'll notice we have a lot more pixels here of 70 plus dBz's. Again, that's usually indicative of at least golf ball size hail you're talking, but with that very large hail spike, I mean, we're talking at least probably lime size hail, but I would not be surprised if we saw hail up to the size of baseballs somewhere in here. Because again, this storm has a history of producing softball size hail, which is just insane. Alright, news for thunderstorm warning here. Let's see where that's going for. That's all the way back up here into Iowa here. This is for our little cluster. This is south of Fort Dodge for Callender, Farnhamville, and Gallery for ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Again, little cluster of supercells there are currently producing large hail. We got another severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, they're just relentless for some reason today. There we go. That's all the way back down here into Texas. This is an extension 4-hour storm here near Tulia. This is going to be for lime-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So, Again, that storm is crossing Interstate 27 right now. It's going to be approaching or going through Caffrey here in just a minute, approaching Happy and Wayside, Texas. Alrighty, there we go. Let me go ahead and pin that. Alrighty. We are one away from 1.201 or 1.21k. I can't even read. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for frequent severe weather updates, because we do provide those here. And I will say I did actually figure out how to record with OBS. So the overall quality, like we're talking like resolution, I guess, of the video will get better. Because right now we film in 720, and it's so weird. My thing says that I'm filming in 1080, but I think YouTube like says it's 720. It's really confusing. I don't even get it. But we should be able to get the full 1080 soon, so. Yeah, this thing just keeps getting more impressive here. I believe this is the report. Yeah. Baseball to softball size hail there. South of Dinmont. Alright, let's check out the vertically integrated liquid. I'm sure this is going to be off the charts. Yeah, that's very deep there. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't look like it's weakening out a whole lot much. So, this is pretty much right when it produced the softball size hail. You can see it condensed for a little bit, but now it's starting to get much bigger there. So, let's see how tall these things are. Let's see, echo tops. Let's do this 3D. Alright, so, yeah, that's over 50,000 feet. So, pretty tall thunderstorms there. Alright, news for thunderstorm warning. That is going to be going out for our storm here in northern Iowa. This is going to be going out for Iowa Falls, Latimer, and Hampton. This is for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. And they did actually severe warn our storm south of Abilene that we tried to get a cam on. This is for Winters, Texas. Quarter-size hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds expected with that. Looks like the storm is just now popping up here. Starting to become pretty tall. Just about 46,000 feet high. Yeah, you can see. Pretty explosive there. Again, we still do have that tornado warning in Colorado. I mean, we just keep getting huge hail from this thing. That's 2.5 inches and 2-inch hail. So again, we have somewhere from lime size to, I mean, we're talking close to baseball size hail with this falling. So, falling with this. And I believe we now have a destructive in Texas, according to Davis. I don't know if they're just, if it hasn't popped up yet. Yep, there it is. Alright, so, our storm down here in, Dimmitt and Nazareth, Texas, has, been upgraded now to large apple-sized hail. So, 3-inch hail falling with this storm. Storm chaser Freddie McKinney is above me right now. He's showing you what it's looking like from the ground there. Again, this is a destructive storm for Nazareth. Wow. So 3-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, and that was reported from the public there. So people and animals outdoors will be severely injured. Expect shattered windows, extensive damage to roofs, sidings, and vehicles. And that's really not good. Wow. I mean, you can't really say that was unexpected because you saw how, I mean, the radar presentation on this thing just came right back. Again, it took a little break there just after it went destructive for softball, and then boom. And by the way, this thing has maintained a giant hail spike. So basically, the radar beams are trying to penetrate through the storm, and they're kind of getting deflected from just the large hail that's falling within the storm. And so kind of the hail is getting in the way of the beam, and it's kind of bouncing off of that, and you'll get this little feature that kind of sticks out of the storm there. We call that a hail spike. Alright, let me pull up Epic Pen here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about if I draw some stuff on your screen there, just so it's easier to explain what we're looking at in particular with these storms. So So again, large apple-sized hail falling just south of Nazareth, Texas. The next scan, still very intense. I mean, just look at that monstrous hail spike. And if they do end up warning this storm here south of Lyman, Colorado, which obviously they could, I would not be surprised if we got an upgrade. So that's a 45-degree dew point. That's it. I'm turning on the SPC. I want to see where this is at. I don't know if I'm going crazy, but this genuinely may actually be outside of our general thunder. Alright, it's not. Okay, I was actually way off. This is in our marginal. I mean, that's still insane that we're getting, huge hail and, full-blown tornado warning in Colorado. But, like, I mean, I thought that was way out in our general thunder. So, yeah, I think I am just crazy. Our storm here north of Garden City, Kansas, is producing quarter-size hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds there. So, if you're in that area, make sure you are getting in a shelter. There could be some slight rotation developing, as well as our storm down here. God, this is so rural Kansas. There's like no town names near Ravenna. It does have the tornado possible tag, so again, there's nothing crazy, but I could definitely see this wrapping up soon. So if it does wrap up, a little bit better there, they could definitely end up warning it. Because again, the last couple scans have this thing strengthening pretty rapidly, so we'll keep our eyes on that. And still lime-sized hail falling here near Hooker, Texas. Near Hardest, Aaron Jajak is actually on that storm as well. And then here near Cactus, Texas, and Dumas, we have lime-sized hail. I believe these are merging cells, so both are likely producing around ping-pong ball to golf ball size hail. And then obviously our cluster is from south of Amarillo. And then our destructive here for large apple size hail. Okay. Both of these warnings expire in 5 minutes, so I'm very intrigued to see what kind of hail tag they're going to put on this. If I were the National Weather Service, I would likely go baseball with this, because the radar imagery, if anything, is pretty much the same as, what it was when they finally went back to the large apple size hail tag. But just to be safe, I would probably warn this for baseball size hail, because again, I'm still 100% confident that we have massive hail falling with this, because again, that softball size hail report was insane, but we've been seeing via multiple chasers here of just huge hail, and also that hail spike. If I were them, I would reissue it for baseball size hail, and I would make it a very long warning so that they can, downgrade it and upgrade it whenever they need to. So. It's a ton of storms that are just exploding out here in Texas. Yeah, 20 severe warnings. So, that's insane. Show we're at 8 likes. We have 3 people in here, so if you haven't already, if you're just now tuning in, make sure you're hitting the like button. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning, and is warned for softball size hail again. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay, so again, softball size hail, that is 4-inch hail. Holy crap. Dude, this thing is a monster. So, this is for Nazareth, Texas, and for Lakeview. If you are in this area, you need to, if you are on the interstate, on the highway, wherever you're at, you need to get into a gas station, or get your car in your garage and get away from windows, because this thing is producing giant hail. This is massive hail, and no, we're not going to use the low taper fade meme, because this is actually turning out to be a very serious situation. Again, multiple pixels of 70 plus dBz's. We're talking, 10 plus, with a giant hail spike. Look how big that hail spike is. Alright. Again, we are 1 away from 1.21k, so if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. But if you're just now tuning in, we have softball size hail falling in Texas. Alright, we're gonna retitle the stream here, because that's insane. This is one of the more impressive hailstorms we've seen all year. Again, this has previously been warned for softball size hail, and they issued it again. That's crazy. And I was saying they could go with the baseball size hail tag, but that next scan, definitely looks like it would support softball size hail. All right, we're gonna pull up Freddie McKinney because, I mean, he could. Yeah, he's probably getting pounded out here. Okay, that was actually like 20 minutes ago. Let's see what he's doing now. Oh my gosh, his windshield is taking an absolute beating. I mean, that's like half an hour ago. Who knows what his windshield looks like now? Okay, yeah, I don't know if he's trying to get out ahead of this, but he is getting away with that from that storm. And honestly, I would not chase this storm unless this had insane structure, because, I mean, that's softball size hail you're messing with. Your storm out here near Amarillo just keeps drying out. Like, I mean, it's just falling apart rapidly. Honestly, it looks like it's sub-severe at this point, so, I mean, stay indoors, obviously, but I would seriously doubt that there's ping-pong ball-size hail falling. I think at best, probably very small hail. Yeah, literally no signature on the vertically integrated liquid. Yeah, no, that is insane. Softball size hail, and that's the second time they've went with that tag. So, and I do want to update the stream title, and they did issue a very long warning there. That's going to be in effect for the next 59 minutes. Dude, let's go. We hit 1.21k. Thank you all so much for subscribing. Thank you for all the support. That's awesome. Alright. And our storm down here near Roaring Springs, Texas, is now warned for tennis ball size hail, so they have actually upgraded that warning as well. So, other than our softball size hail, this is the largest hail that we're seeing as of right now. So, I believe. I mean, we have so many severe warnings, and it is hard to keep track of everything. I mean, it's hard to stay on top of all these storms, because there are a ton of storms that are just exploding out here. So, I mean, we have a pretty condensed area of severe warnings up here in Texas, but, I mean, we have a couple in Kansas here, Nebraska. I mean, look at all these in Iowa here. They seem to be pretty tame for the most part, though. Yeah, still very strong in tight rotation south of Lyman, Colorado. That's going to be approaching Hugo. Or actually, no, yes. So, in about a half hour or so, they'll probably end up crossing Highway 40. So, make sure that if you're in that area that you are getting in your safe spot. Alright, I got to go grab the charger, so I will be right back. But I'm going to leave up the radar here for our softball size hail storm, because again, that is insane. So, I'll be right back, everybody. Alrighty, sorry about that, everyone. Oh, there we go. So the radar presentation of our softball-sized hailstorm here, or softball-sized hail tag storm here, remains impressive. But I will say it does look a little bit less, serious as it was when it did get re-upgraded to softball-sized hail. All right. We did get a couple new severe warnings. I don't know where that's at. Is that down here in Texas? That ringer popping up. Okay, that actually might have been all the way back here into South Carolina. This is west of Keats Crossroads and Browns Crossroads, Colorado here, or South Carolina. Quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds expected. I know there have been a couple of kind of pop-up strong severe storms out in this area today. Yeah, look at that warm sector. You got dew points in the mid to upper 60s. So that's insane. I think our chasers are literally bailing on our storm here for Nazareth because of the hail size with this. That's crazy. Unless they're trying to get ahead of it. But that's just incredible. What's up, Blaine? What's up, Tenacious? As a newbie to the meteorology world, you're curious about whether it's rare for tornadic activity to pop up in Colorado, or it's something you've just never paid attention to. Yeah, so it's definitely not something that's unheard of. But the reason why I was so surprised is because usually, the prime time severe and tornado season for Colorado is, pretty much from May to about August. That's really in between those couple of months. There is when we usually see the, biggest activity in, just tornadic events, if that makes sense, out there in Colorado. Because usually, obviously, there still can definitely be some, shots of cooler air that, linger throughout the April and even into some parts of early May in some cases. But really, it doesn't get going until, as we get well into late spring and early summer. But again, I mean, Colorado is definitely a big time state for tornadoes in general. It's just that usually we just see them a little bit later in the year. So, and overall today we just didn't have a big risk for Colorado, and so that's why it's kind of a surprise to see our tornado warning up there for today. All right, so both okay, so our only storm here that's producing tennis ball size hail out of the three that are on your map here is our one just to the east of Crosbytown, Texas. But we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be going out for Meadow, Texas here for ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. They did actually just give us a flash flood warning here for our storm near Nazareth, which, by the way, now does not have the softball size hail tag, has been downgraded all the way to lime size hail, which, again, that's exactly what they did last time, where it was softball size hail and then was downgraded to lime size, and they just did it again, so. Just an absolute mess of severe warnings out here. So potentially it's a lime-sized hail falling out here in Colorado. New severe thunderstorm warning. There's so many that it's so hard to find these. Alright. This is going to be going out for Ablington, Parkersburg, Ackley, and Geneva, Iowa here, also including Allison. This is going to be for ping pong ball size hail and 60 mile per hour winds, so make sure if you're in this area you are getting away from windows. You can see a pretty decent hail core developing, again, south of Geneva, or Geneva. And this is going to be moving off to the north and east, I believe. We did just get another severe thunderstorm warning. Again, these are being like handed out left and right. But that will be going out. This is for actually our storm gear in Colorado that currently is tornado warning. This is for Lyman and Hugo, quarter size hail and 60 mile per hour winds expected. Pretty surprising considering that they did actually have the lime size hail tag on that tornado warning. We just get another severe thunderstorm warning. This is going out for Gwyman, Hooker, Tyrone, Forgan, Goodwell, and Haunty here in the Oklahoma Panhandle. This is for golf ball size hail and 60 mile per hour winds for the next hour and 34 minutes. So a long way to go with this storm. Yeah, no problem, Tenacious. Not mean to click on that. Again, still likely lime-sized hail falling with the storm here, as it, yeah, it's starting to merge with these other cells around it, which I'm thinking will actually kill the hail kind of part of the storm, if that makes sense. So I do think that this storm will likely start to decrease in intensity as far as the hail threat goes. Been live here for just about 50 minutes there. And usually every live stream, I try to make sure that I'm live for at least an hour, even if the threat isn't too crazy, because again, you want to make sure that you're just live for enough that you can determine, if severe weather coverage is needed or not, but just also that I'm here for all of y'all. And if you have any questions about your location, feel free to let me know. I mean, at this point, we really just have a bunch of considerables here, but we still do have this storm near Dickens, Texas. which is producing tennis ball size hail. So if that does get upgraded at all, that will go destructive. So. We no longer have a tornado warning in Colorado, so at this point all we've got is just a couple of, or a lot of severe warnings, 19, so about 20 severe warnings right now. Again, really the most concerned I am with these cells is really our discrete cells, because honestly I think that our little cluster cell, the Amarillo, which is, it's funny because these have been the most impressive storms of the day so far. I think that these will rapidly decrease in intensity as they kind of merge together into that little kind of sloppy and messy cluster there, if that makes sense. Like, you can already see we're starting to lose that 60 dBz, the 60 dBz values. I mean, these are struggling to get over 50 dBzs. This was the storm that was warned for softball size hail. It barely has over 60 dBzs there. So, just kind of giving you guys an idea of how how big the hail is as of right now and what you can expect going forward. I would not be surprised though if we still did have up to golf ball size hail somewhere in there. But again, these are the areas that I really doubt are going to see too much throughout the rest of the night with this little cluster. So again, if anybody has any questions about your location or just kind of the overall severe threat for today, or even just the next couple of days, feel free to let me know. We still do have our storm here south of Dayton and Almoda, Kansas, which I don't know if it's the same storm, but I believe we did actually have a very impressive area of rotation, which might have actually produced a tornado. Could have been a landslide as well. But it looks like we do have another severe warning cell that's moving up into this area. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. There is actually some rotation developing, but it doesn't look like it's as significant as the previous area of rotation. Which, again, I think that was with a different cell, if I'm not mistaken. So. Again, really nothing much going on at the moment. except for the storm north of Dickens, which again, it's still producing tennis ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, and they have added the tornado possible tag. I mean, there could be some very brief, weak rotation developing in there, but that's mostly contaminated. But again, if you haven't already, make sure to ding the subscribe button. Let's try to get to 1.22k by the end of the stream. Again, we'd have to gain 10 more subscribers, but we can definitely do it. So. Again, this is the cluster of kind of supercells that did produce the softball size hail, which was pretty insane, but they're kind of converging at this point. So thankfully, it seems like that hail threat will start to decrease as, again, the overall presentation of these supercells is starting to go downhill. If we look at our vertically integrated liquid, you can see we still do have a decent signature here. I'm just to the west of Tulia, Texas. But really nothing much other than, I mean, maybe a couple spots here of possible large hail, but you're talking likely up to just, golf ball size hail. I really doubt at this point that we have lime size hail falling, which is, again, it's what the warning has, but they will likely decrease the warning size. Because the warning does expire in 38 minutes, so I'm sure at that point these storms would either be out of the warning area or they would just not really have hail anywhere near the size of lime size there. Looks like Freddie McKinney's actually getting some pretty nice lightning, so we'll check out his live stream here. Alright, so this was just a couple minutes ago. Looks like he's in Hart, Texas right now. And it looks like he's entering the town as of right now, but you can see all that lightning from the distance. I believe that is actually our storm here that is still, again, warned for lime size hail. So this is what it looks like from a distance. I mean, look at all that lightning activity. So I don't know if he's, planning on going back into it, but definitely looks like still a pretty good lightning producer there. So we'll see if it is still producing that, large hail, if he does go back into it. So we'll keep an eye on Freddy. So new severe thunderstorm warning here for Buffalo Gap and Tuscola, Texas. This is for quarter size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're in this area, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows. Again, this is the cell that is paralleling Highway 83 as we speak. This is the cell that popped up near Winters, Texas. This will be approaching our live cam, actually, which is now in the severe warning. So, hopefully the cam operator is working on it. The last time we checked, I don't think we were looking in this direction, so I'm hoping that the camera operator is actually, noticing the approaching thunderstorms, but this is obviously not looking in the right direction because you can't really see anything. But we'll keep an eye on this cam as your severe thunderstorm approaches there. Again, that is south of Abilene, Texas, near Winters. So we do have ping pong ball size hail falling near Meadow, Texas as well. So if you're in that area, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows. I mean, they still haven't downgraded the warning for any of these yet, so that's insane. Alrighty. Yeah, still some nice landing in the distance there. So yeah, he's actually going, Freddy's going back into our storm that was previously warned for softball size hail. So I'm not sure exactly where he's at, but he is somewhere in here. But he's trying to get north here and trying to get into the storm. Because again, at this point, it really looks like it's not posing a huge threat to his windshield. There is something that resembles a possible hail spike here, still under storm near Nazareth. But that's not, confirmed. And again, I still doubt that we're seeing hail up to lime size, but I think golf ball size hail is still going to be a possibility. Which I think, if they reissue the warning here in a minute, that'll probably be around what the tag has. Alright, so they let that warning expire there, so we'll likely get a new warning here in a minute. Yeah, and this one's about to expire as well. So we'll likely get a warning for our storm here in Nazareth. Again, I think it's probably going to be around golf ball size hail, maybe $50, ping pong, something like that, I'd imagine. Because I really think at this point there's probably less than 2-inch hail. Okay, we do actually have a report of a possible, looks like a rotating wall cloud near Guayman, Oklahoma. This is the storm that the report came from. So, again, looks like something trying to come down here. This is near Hooker and Guayman. This is very far away from the radar site, so it's practically impossible to tell how intense the rotation is. But somewhere within these storms, looks like there is a little bit of rotation trying to develop there. Alright, looks like we did just get a news for your thunderstorm warning. That is for our storm we talked about earlier for Tulia, Texas. This is for, ping pong ball size hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. So if you are in this area, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows. Alright, let's go back down to our storm here near Abilene. Because I believe, it should be trying to get, through the cam here. Or cross over the cam in just a second. Alright, so we'll got a little bit of time left. There's the lightning. Start to see it. What's up, Meteorology Unleashed? How's it going? Alright, news for your thunderstorm warning. This is going to be going out for, let's see. I have no idea, because that is not popping up. Great. There it is. I think this is it. I believe it is. Alright, south of Ottawa, Kansas here. This is going to be for Greeley, Scipio, Richmond, and Lane, Kansas, and Garnett, Kansas for the next 43 minutes. $half size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds expected. That will be moving through, or I guess it's kind of connected to this little line here, moving through the Kansas City metro area here, just over the next couple minutes, so. But, again, if you're just tuning in, we're going to be covering our significant severe weather outbreak across portions of the Texas and Oklahoma Panhandle into Kansas, and even as far north as Iowa today. But we also do have storm chaser Freddie McKinney, currently in Tulia, Texas, which is actually the area that just got that severe thunderstorm warning for ping pong ball size hail. And so you can see he's getting some pretty frequent lightning activity outside of the main cell there. But in a second, we'll be able to see the hail size with this. But to the two people that have been watching the whole stream, I appreciate all the support, because again, all of the watch hours we need, it all helps, so. Alright, there's that news for your thunderstorm warning. This is for just east of Dimmitt, for Nazareth, Texas. This is for, again, lime-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. It looks like this storm is actually moving northwest, which again is literally, it's so weird. Looks like, wow, okay, so a merger has actually just popped up just randomly here, just to, like, about 3 miles to the west of Nazareth, and now has a full-blown hail spike. So this cluster will not stop producing a large hail, and I could definitely see this starting to develop a much larger hail core over the next couple minutes. So this is likely the next big-time hailer that we have to talk about. Yeah, look at that vertically and very liquid signature. I know it's not too deep and not a huge area, but that thing just popped up. So again, a lot of these storms are moving north, which, you know, it's a pretty weird storm motion, because obviously the general flow is usually west to east, but these storms are moving north, at least for the past couple of hours. It's been a hell of a spring. It's funny. Again, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We do live stream the coverage every day if needed, and then we also provide free and frequent weather updates for all parts of the country. So if we're not live, we'll always be providing weather updates whenever the weather does get active. Which again, I am planning on making a video sometime over the next day or two here, because we are about to enter another pretty active stretch of severe weather. And I mean, we've just been seeing a couple days in a row now of just, you know, insane hail events here in Texas. News for thunderstorm warning here for Earth, Texas. This is going to be for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. So. Just me, or is that pen size too big? That's what we need. That's it. Oh, hail spike developing on the backside of that storm. So right now I'm wearing a plain black t-shirt, but I was wearing my Team Dominator t-shirt before I had to do the Ice Bucket Challenge because somebody nominated me, so. Don't know if you already went over this, but there's another destructive. Yeah, okay, so I didn't check on that, but I think it's the same storm we were talking about earlier. I think it's the one that was warned for Lime-Size Hail. Is it? Is it not? Okay, that storm is actually now down. That's been downgraded to golf ball size hail. I don't know which one we're talking about here. Let's see. No, okay, so this is actually one of our storms up here near Dumas, Sunray, and Cactus. Holy moly. I don't know if that is a hail spike or if that is just the radar beam, but holy crap, that's insane. So, our storm here near Dumas is likely producing hail up to baseball size. Again, this is south of Sunray. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. Are you still alive, Davis? Oh, you just ended off? Oh, okay. Oh, it's a glitch? Okay. Yeah, I figured that was not a hail spike. Alright. Again, baseball size hail falling here in Dumas, Texas. There was a report, this is as of 9:47, so this was 8 minutes ago. We had a report of, golf ball size hail, or, ping pong ball size hail, but, let's see, is this public? I mean, this can't be radar indicated. It is radar indicated. I mean, was this thing more impressive recently, or am I tripping here? I guess it was. Honestly, I didn't expect that. Oh yeah, that is not a hail spike. I did not notice that. The smart thing to do would probably be to look back at the last radar scans. There we go. that's our baseball size hail report. And that was from emergency management. Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see where that's going out for. This is north of Garden City, Kansas, south of Dayton, and Alamota. There we go. Quarter size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds expected. I don't know why I couldn't say that, man. Don't know what it was. Very contaminated, but I wouldn't be surprised if we actually did have some rotation trying to develop somewhere in here. Again, where you see the reds and the greens meet, that's where you have possible rotation. That's all contamination up there, but I still wouldn't be surprised. Davis, I don't know if you're still in here, but, and I don't know if you saw that photo I, sent to the group chat, but, that was from our storm here in the Oklahoma Panhandle, likely a rotating wall cloud. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't say that. I'm just stupid. Again, the radar presentation of this storm is really not looking nearly as impressive, so I honestly doubt that we're seeing baseball size hail, but definitely treat this like this is a, obviously a significant hailstorm. Because, I mean, I still definitely do think that big time hail is falling, but I really don't know about baseball size hail. I mean, we're barely seeing 60 dBzs. Should you make your warning polygon shade on radar omega? I just added that. I'm still on the fence, kind of with just deciding if this is, if it looks good or not. I'm leaning towards keeping it, but if I were you, I would do it just because for me, it's easier to see what areas are included in the warning and what areas are not. It's just a preference, I don't know, but, I think it's pretty useful, so, I mean, obviously you do you, but I like it, so. Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be going out for Garden City, Kansas, as well as Deerfield. This is for quarter size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, also for Holcomb. Let's see. So yeah, that's first one. It's gonna be moving through this area here in just a minute. Yeah, I mean, this thing just, I don't know about you, Davis, but, I honestly doubt that this thing is producing hail, even above 2 inches at this point. I mean, at this point, it just seems like the cell is completely drying out. You can really see the whole presentation. I mean, if you told me this was a destructive, I would not believe you, because that does not look anything like, what our softball-sized hailstorm did, for example. Yeah, we can call. Let's call the boys here. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it just really does not look like there's, big hail at all. I mean, honestly, I would downgrade that to half dollar size hail.
Hello.
What's up? I really doubt that there's baseball size hail falling with that storm.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah. Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see what that's for. Alright. That's gonna be out here in into Colorado here. This is for Hugo. Quarter size hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds expected. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. That will be crossing Highway 40 here in just a minute as well. Okay, so they actually have upgraded that storm we were talking about earlier to tennis ball size hail in Nazareth. So again, this cell has been popping up, different mergers, and it's been strengthening, weakening, and just, it's been all over the place today. It's been warned for softball size hail twice, and it looks like a merger just kind of popped up there and is kind of taken over. So at this point, we have likely tennis ball size hail falling, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. So we do actually have Freddie McKinney above my head. Let's see where he's at right now. Last time we checked, he was in Tulia, Texas. He was actually getting hit by some hail. So we're gonna see where he's at as of right now. Yeah, so he's still in Tulia. And right now it looks like he's getting some heavy rain and some frequent lightning, but I guess he's moving north, so we'll see what his next move is going to be, but he's going to kind of give us a look at, what the storm is looking like from the ground, but right now he's likely traveling up Interstate 27.
I still can't get over how cool that is that we can say, okay, so we've got Storm Chaser blah 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 just above my head here.
I know, it's awesome, dude. That storm is also upgraded to tennis ball size hail. So, both of these storms are, they're actually starting to separate from each other, which again will likely enhance that hail threat. And so, at this point, it looks like we, likely will have, big time hail falling. And our Nazareth storm is starting to put on a nice, look there with that hail spike, but also it does have multiple pixels of 70 plus dBZs. So. Do you know if PA Storm Trackers is out here, or are they back home?
So I know they're live. I don't know if they're doing a chase or not right now. Let me go ahead and check. They are so they are in Indiana right now.
Are they coming down for severe what?
Shoot, they're gonna be going through Green Up later.
Are they chasing like
I think they're gonna chase Monday.
Okay.
So they're getting out there early.
Yeah.
would like to say, by the way, Monday has had a pretty nasty uptrend since yesterday on a couple of the long-range models, the GFS especially, but also we're starting to be able to look at what's going on the European for this event, and there is quite a bit of agreement between both of them that we are setting up for, at the very least, something that's going to be a potent, severe weather threat, and at most could be a full, widespread, severe weather or tornado outbreak. Now, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be an outbreak because we don't know that yet, but I will say it's looking pretty concerning.
Yeah, I agree. So obviously we'll continue to watch that here, with those, modal trends over the next couple of days. But
And I mean, even the GFS, again, a low resolution model, you can pull soundings that support a, entirely tornadic environment. And again, usually something like that, you're going to have to have one of the short range models, like the NAM or the HRRR. But, even with the GFS here, we're pulling soundings that already support a very impressive event. Now, obviously, there's room for uptrends and downtrends, but either way, this is something that this portion of the country almost never sees in the month of April. So we got to be on the lookout, and I think that, in all honesty, after this Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday event that we're going to end up seeing, I think that we're going to have another pretty potent threat start to stack back up in Dixie Alley after that, but that's quite a ways out, so.
yeah. Is that Kevin in my chat?
Let me see. Does he have a really dumb username?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. That is him.
Alright. I was just making sure. And I don't know why that storm is baseball-sized hail warned, but
Honestly, there's a good chance that it's taking them forever to downgrade it, just due to partially there's so much going on, and the shortage is not helping that.
yeah, that's true.
They've got a lot of bigger problems to worry about than, deciding whether or not to downgrade the destructive storm, I guess. But, I mean, I don't know. Kevin, what do you think for Monday, also Tuesday, and even Sunday? I'm thinking looks like something for the Northern Plains. I want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah. I believe we have a slight risk for Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah,
And
so
I'm not going to lie, again, Monday is the day that I think that it has the very real potential on Monday to go enhanced, moderate, that kind of event. But again, it's just so far out that sometimes it's hard to say stuff like that. But I feel confident enough to say that this is, again, at the very least, going to end up being a severe weather outbreak on Monday.
yeah. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for our Silverton storm here, Silverton, Texas. This is for lime-sized hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. Above my head, storm chaser Freddie McKinney is giving us a view of what we've got going on underneath that storm there. So again, he's going to be traveling up Interstate 27, and he's kind of sandwiched in between these two storms. So he should be getting some pretty nice views of that lightning and some heavy rain. And if he goes farther into that storm, obviously that very large hail. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. But if we pull up the storm prediction center, you can see our day 6 slight risk extending all the way from central Minnesota and portions of central and western Wisconsin, all the way back down through the Great Plains into pretty much all the way down to southern Oklahoma there. So again, this is when we're talking about the potential of, it looks like at this point, all hazards, which again, there's a lot of time for this to change, but it looks like a pretty significant event is on our hands as of right now. We did just get a news fair thunderstorm warning. That's going to be going out here for Dumas, Borger, Fritsch, Groover, and Spearman, Texas here. So this is the storm that was previously warned for baseball-sized hail. This is going to be for the next hour and 35 minutes, ping-pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. I don't know about you, but these are one of the longest. These are some of the longest severe thunderstorm warnings I think I've ever seen.
Well, a lot of them are covering grounds for multiple supercells. I've made the reference several times today, kill 2 cells with 1 warning, and I feel like that's kind of what they've been doing for some of these. Instead of just issuing, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, if they have the same exact threats associated with them and they're moving over a similar area, I feel like they've just been issuing 1 big warning for them.
Yeah. But back to the Storm Prediction Center again. Day 6 looks to be a pretty significant event. And then day 7, we have another pretty broad slate risk extending all the way from southern Michigan through the lower Midwest into, again, portions of eastern Oklahoma and northeastern Texas, where we're talking about likely, all hazards, which, again, it's pretty hard to tell, what the exact hazards are going to be this far out. But just based off of soundings, like David said, even on models like the GFS, we're talking about a potentially tornadic primed environment. But again, there's so much time for this to change that we really need to, wait and see what the high-res models will show once we get to that time frame.
Well, and I think the really important thing about that is this is another event, just like many recently, that I think all comes down to storm mode. I think that if we have a discrete, heavily supercellular storm mode, we could end up seeing a full-scale tornado outbreak. But if we just have a linear storm mode, there's a good chance that we just see potent damaging winds and a couple of brief tornadoes and not too much else. So we really do have to wait for those, higher res models like the NAM and the HRRR to come in to see features like storm mode. But for right now, it's easy to just, sit here and say it's going to be an outbreak, but we don't know that yet, so I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning here. This is for tennis ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is our storm just to the east of Nazareth, north of Tulia. So if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. This thing just keeps on chugging. I don't know. I've kind of just, I'm just kind of going with the flow. I'm not really deciding when to stop, or, I don't know. What do you think I should do?
Honestly, at this point of the night, I would be willing to bet that once we see this destructive expire, we're probably not going to see too many more destructives. Probably not any. We're definitely not going to end up seeing any more tornado warnings. And, since this is such a rural area, I just feel like there's probably, if you ended stream, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but you do you.
Alright.
I'd also like to point out we did get a confirmed landspout from just under 2 hours ago from Cheyenne County, Colorado. This was just north of Highway 40 near Cheyenne Wells. Fun fact, that same road literally goes through my backyard. But possible landspout seen via Storm Chaser about 2 hours ago.
Alright.
Left on the destructive.
Yeah.
They already went ahead and reissued the severe warning out of that. I don't know if you saw that, but it is for ping pong ball sized hail now.
Alright.
I don't know if you pulled up or not, but they've got quite the light show right now on the storm they're on.
Who?
Governor Media.
I don't have them.
Oh, okay. I could probably get DL to let you use it if you wanted me to.
I mean, that would be amazing, but...
Me and him are just kind of best buddies now.
That's awesome.
Hope for a power outage in Iowa on Monday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. so I can have a legit excuse not to work. Just, go to work and not do anything.
What? Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning. This is gonna be going out for, let's see. I believe, I don't even know where that's at. What did you say?
It's in Iowa.
Oh, alright. That's where all these are.
No way, it includes Parkersburg.
It's crazy. Is it our Waterloo storm?
No, it's the storm south of there.
So this is going to be for Applington, Dyke, Stout, Wellsburg, Holland, and Grundy Center. $half size hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds expected. So if you're in that area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. You work from home, so sometimes that happens as well. I'm at work, but doing nothing. Not very often, though.
Yeah, I know my mom works from home and she enjoys it a lot, so.
Before we end off, I do want to give a quick shout out to Sam. He had one of the most unbelievable live streams I've seen from just, my community, Davis's community, and stuff like that. He had a insane amount of concurrent viewers, but he gained, about 2,000 subscribers in an hour, which, I mean, there's a chance that those were bots, but I mean, they're not unsubbing, and he still gets that many viewers when he goes live. So, I mean, that's just crazy that, he's getting that much success. My thing about remote working is that technical issues can pretty much be an excuse for anything and everything. That must be great.
Wait. Oh. I went back to the beginning of the stream chat.
Oh. I mean, I don't work, so I don't know, like, how big of a break that is, but...
I went back to the beginning of the chat, and I see Mr. Twist, and I was like, what?
Hey, you.
What's up, Jesse?
Jesse.
Are you streaming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Internet's okay. Oh, by the way, Davis, can you send me your email? I'm supposed to forward a bunch of stuff to you.
Yeah, William and I talked about that. I got you. Hold up.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I have all the stuff, so.
So, at this point, really, the most concerning storms are, again, our couple of cells down here near Tulia, Texas. So, these don't expire for a while, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to end off stream here. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys that were tuned in for a while. I know we had a couple viewers that were here for most of the time. We did gain 1 subscriber, which, again, anything helps, but, I mean, I know that the, kind of the sub gain has been pretty slow recently, but, I know I haven't been posting, as frequent as, always, so I'll try to get, kind of back onto our regular posting schedule, but, again, thank you all for tuning in, and, yeah, that's pretty much it, so, thank you all for coming to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Max Velocity Raid!
Wait, did Max Velocity raid?
No.